House of the Dragon Season 3 officially confirms major Rhaenyra change. Good day, Westeros Throne viewers. Prepare yourselves because we are diving straight into a revelation that just reshaped the entire dance of the dragons. Season 3 of House of the Dragon is coming in hotter than car axes doing a low-altitude flyover. And the biggest shock is not a battle, not a betrayal, not even a dragon-on-dragon dogfight. No. The real headline is a major change for Rhaenyra Targaryen herself. A change that flips expectations, alters the political chessboard, and guarantees Season 3 will explode in ways none of us predicted. Before we start tearing into all the chaos, mysteries, and royal drama, take a moment to subscribe to Westeros Throne and click the notifications bell icon. You will not want to miss what we have coming, especially with how wild this new Rhaenyra twist is shaping up to be. Alright, let us take flight. Rhaenyra Targaryen is a character built on contradictions. Born to rule, raised on duty, fueled by ambition, and, depending on who you ask, either the rightful heir or the spark that burned a kingdom down. But Season 3 is taking her down a path that might feel familiar in spirit, yet radically different in execution. And this new direction solves one of the biggest complaints from Season 2 while giving Emma Darcy the narrative power fans have been begging for. The major confirmed change? Season 3 is shifting Rhaenyra into a darker, sharper, and far more politically ruthless figure. Gone is the patient, contemplative, grief-stricken queen we followed through Season 2. The version we are getting now is laser-focused. Less hesitation, more fury. Less diplomacy, more precision strikes. Think still Rhaenyra, but upgraded with the Targaryen fire mode the writers finally unlocked. And yes, it is absolutely necessary. But let us not get ahead of ourselves. Transition time, because to understand why this shift is so huge, we need to look at where she left off. Season 2 gave us a Rhaenyra who spent most of her time navigating grief and duty. Her losses were brutal. Luke's death, the throne slipping through her fingers, the alliances crumbling, the betrayals multiplying. She was emotionally wounded, politically cornered, and desperately trying to avoid a full-blown civil war, even as the realm sprinted toward it like it was the highlight event of the year. But audiences felt the drag. They wanted action. They wanted rage. They wanted the Rhaenyra who would rise from tragedy like a dragon shaking ash off its wings. And Season 3 said, "You will get her, and she will be terrifying." This is not a villain turn. It is not a hero turn either. It is a strategic awakening, a hard pivot from reaction to domination. Think of it like this. Season 2 Rhaenyra was a chess player trying not to lose pieces. Season 3 Rhaenyra is the player flipping the board, setting it on fire, and telling her opponent, checkmate. Now here is the exciting part. This change is not just emotional. It directly impacts the battles, alliances, pacing, and tone of the entire show. We are about to see Rhaenyra take command of her war in a way that rewrites how the Blacks fight. She will not be waiting for provocations anymore. She will be creating them. Let's glide into the next point, because the question is not just what the change is, it is why it matters now. Season 3 is the turning point of the Dance of the Dragons. This is where both sides stop pretending peace is possible. This is where the veneer of order cracks and the raw, violent, magical chaos of the Targaryen dynasty erupts at full force. And the writers finally realized Rhaenyra cannot be passive during this phase, not even for a moment. Because here is the uncomfortable truth. The Blacks lose ground every time Rhaenyra hesitates. Whether it is delaying retaliations or trying to appeal to decency in a world where decency is already on life support, her restraint has been costing her allies, soldiers, and legitimacy. Season 3 corrects that. Rhaenyra is now a commander, a strategist, a leader who finally understands that mercy is a currency no one in this war is willing to exchange. Expect her to take risks she never would have taken before. Expect her to push back against her counsel. Expect her to trust her instincts over the whispers of advisors who, frankly, have been terrible at giving her consistent guidance. This shift also means one thing fans have desperately wanted: more Rhaenyra screen time. Season 3 makes her the engine of the narrative instead of a spectator caught in a storm. Rhaenyra's transformation is not happening in a vacuum. The moment she sheds the last traces of restraint, the realm reacts. This change starts a ripple effect that hits every major character on the black side and shocks the greens. For example, Daemon is no longer the unpredictable wild card steering their war efforts. With Rhaenyra stepping up, Daemon has to adapt to a queen who no longer needs his chaos. Their dynamic is shifting from he leads, she responds, to she commands, he reacts. Her council, Corlys, Rhaenys, Maester Gerardys, suddenly have a queen they cannot gently nudge anymore. She is making decisions, not asking for validation. Her sons, especially Jace, get a wake-up call that their mother is about to take the throne by force, not negotiation. And the Greens? They are about to realize that everything they thought they understood about Rhaenyra is outdated. Alicent miscalculated her compassion. Aegon underestimated her resilience. Otto misread her restraint as weakness. Season 3 Rhaenyra is here to break those assumptions like they are cheap ceremonial swords. Slide with me into the next point, because if you think this change is only political, you are missing the flaming dragon in the room. Season 3 increases Rhaenyra's dragon presence dramatically. Fans complained that she barely rode Syrax. They felt robbed of seeing the bond between queen and dragon. But the new season is doubling down on this relationship. A more assertive Rhaenyra means a more active Syrax. And a more active Syrax means we finally get what the Dance of the Dragons promised: queens and dragons fighting together. Her emotional shift directly affects her dragon riding. A determined Rhaenyra is a dangerous dragon rider. A queen who sheds restraint unlocks Syrax's full narrative power. Expect aerial scenes. Expect dragon strategy. Expect Syrax becoming not just a symbol, but a threat. This is where Season 3 moves from courtroom drama to dragon war epic. Let us take another transition, because all of this leads us to the emotional core of Rhaenyra's shift and why it hits harder now than ever. Rhaenyra is not becoming ruthless because the story needs drama. She is becoming ruthless because she is grieving. Season 2 ended with her spirit cracked open. Emma Darcy has already hinted that this season will explore Rhaenyra's grief in a more active way. Not as paralysis, but as motivation. Not as tears, but as fury. And that is why this change works. It feels earned. It feels believable. It feels like the natural evolution of a woman who has lost everything except her name and her destiny. The overall pace of Season 3 is shaping up to be faster, sharper, and more battle-heavy. This Rhaenyra is the kind of queen who accelerates the plot all by herself. And this shift opens the door to the biggest moments fans have been waiting for. This is the version of Rhaenyra fans have been waiting for since Episode 1. And now she is officially here. Thank you for watching Westeros Throne.